What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. Now, welcome to episode 233 of Shadows and Pretties. So, today I'm going to be reviewing an old movie from 1989, and that is called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, this movie came out in 1989, and it's like 30 years old. And this is basically a film series called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, most of us have seen this movie when we were a kid, and most of us have seen it, so with that being the case and that being said, it's a pretty good movie. And, of course, this movie is one of the highest grossing live action Disney films of all time and record for its held for 5 years, and its success leading to 2 sequels called, beginning with, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid in 1992, as well as a television series, as well as the theme park attractions. An animated short film, Tommy Trouble, which it included, with Roger Rabbit, was shown in theaters during the box office run. So with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I am going to also review it eventually. So there is a franchise of it, so I'll review the sequel whenever I have the opportunity. But first, let me review the the movie, especially for those who haven't seen the movie in like a long time or years and would want a refresher. Because I'm seeing most of you guys probably would want a refresher on the movie. So, well, you've come to the right place. I'll refresh your memory on that. So, let's get started with the movie. So, basically, this takes place where a quirky scientist and inventor, Wayne Skalansky, has been designed to try a ray gun machine capable of shrinking and growing objects. But he unfortunately cannot get it to work properly. So, his obsession with machine worries his hard-working wife Diane, teenage daughter Amy, and a spring inventor son Nick. Next door, Big Russ Thompson, his wife May, and their younger son Ron are preparing for a fishing trip. Their son, Little Russ, is a little less than enthusiastic, as his interests have often clashed with his father. So shortly after Wayne leaves for his conference, Ron accidentally hits a baseball through Zalansky's attic window into the machine, turning it on and blocking its targeting laser. Caught by his brother, Ron is forced to confess to the Skalansky's kids. Ron and Nick enter the attic to retrieve the ball and clean up the mess, and they activated the machine that shrinks them. Amy and Little Russ soon suffer the same fate when they go searching for their siblings. So, however, at his conference, Wayne is laughed off stage for failing to provide proof that his machine works. He enters his attic upon returning home, shrunking the children to try and get his attention, but their voices are only loud enough to be heard by the family dog. Quirk already frustrated, Wayne discovers the broken window and snaps, repeatedly striking the machine as he sweeps in the debris along with the kids into a dustpan and the trash bag. However, the four manage to escape, only discover that the trash bag is now at the curb. They must make it their way back home to the Skalansky's overgrown yard. So meanwhile, the Thompson and Skalansky's parents become uneasy at their children's absence, and May and Big Russell cancel their fishing trip and file a missing report while the police find them. Wayne pieces together what happens, but accidentally activates some kind of sprinklers while searching the yard. As a result, Amy nearly drowns in a mud puddle, but Little Russ dives in to pull her out and retrieve her rescue breaths. Now, of course, Wayne eventually tells the truth to Diane, and she joins in the search, and later convinces Wayne to share this information to the Thompsons, but they remain skeptical. The kids then feast on one of Nick's declared oatmeal cream pie cookies, and use a crumb to capture the friendly foreigner ant, naming it Auntie, and riding it eventually towards the house. As it falls, the group then takes shelter in a Lego piece, and Amy and Little Russ begin expressing their feelings for one another, and they eventually share the kiss. However, the kids are later attacked by a scorpion, but Auntie, at the cost of its own life, dives in them to drive the scorpion away. So the next morning, Nick's friend Tommy arrives to mow the lawn. The kids are forced to seek into shelter in an earthworm tunnel, but barely escaping the vortex caused by the mower. So Wayne and Dan shut off just in time. The kids hitch a ride on a on a ride on a Quark and enter the house. But Nick falls into Wayne's bowl of Cheerios, but he gets nearly eaten. Quark eventually bites Wayne's ankle to get his attention. He discovers the kid's presence and works hard to repair the machine. So both families later in the attic uses the charades pretty much to inform Wayne that his baseball blocked a razor, to which it was previously overheated the targets, causing them to explode. Wayne corrects the problem with Big Russ volunteers as a test subject. The test is successful, and he and the kids are later restored to their original sizes. Eventually, the movie ends with months later at Thanksgiving. The Scalanis and Thompsons have become good friends and are toasting them over a large turkey, and thus how the movie ends. This was a really great story and a really good plot line. I remember watching this movie when I was a kid. It was a really, really good movie, and I do really thought that this was a pretty good concept. I mean, I really do like it. I mean, the film was heavily influenced by a 1950s movie or something called The Incredible Shrinking Man, which was really interesting. I mean, the cast and the crew did a really awesome job. I do like the kid actors. The actors who play the kids. I do like the actors in this movie. I do like the whole fact that, the film was written as Teeny Weenies by Stuart Gordon, but however, it was later added as a screenwriter. Gordon originally prepped the film to be, but it unfortunately had dropped out as director shortly before the filming began due to his illness. So Joe Johnson was brought up to replace him, and while the Finkelman Cox replaced Yunza as a producer. So of course the title Teeny Weenie seemed to appeal more to a child demographic, and it was later changed to a ground appeal name for a more mature audience. And that name was later rejected in favor of the Big Backyard Honey, but it was placed to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, based on the dialogue of the film that automatically became its title. I mean, the filming was really amazing, and of course there is another sequel called Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, which came out about a few years after the first one, which I will read it eventually. And of course, the second sequel to it called Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which I will review that one and the other one eventually, whenever I have the time. However, it's a pretty good movie. I can definitely really say right now that it's a pretty good movie for what it is. However, I heard somewhere in February 21st of 2028, it was later announced that live-action remakes of several films were in development, exclusive content for Disney+, one of those announcements being Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was later confirmed as a legacy sequel film to Shrunk, as in development to be released theatrically, with a plot that centers around Nick Scalenzi as an adult scientist. Josh Gad will star as Nick in the film. So it's basically, however, though, on December 5th of 2019, it was reported that Joe Johnson is in talks to return as director. However, though, it was reported back in 2020 that Rick Moranis will come out of his long semi-retirement to replace his role as Wayne Scalenzi, and now Johnson is confirmed to direct. And so this is a pretty good movie. I mean, I like the cast and the crew. I like the characters. I like the concept of the movie. It's flat out awesome and amazing. I really do like how this is well made for the whole concept of its own self. I mean, we got good actors. We got good actors. We got good build-ups to make the characters so small. I mean, it's pretty the amazing for what it is. I mean, I was surprised at how they got, with technology or something back in the late 80s, they managed to make the kids very small and make everything just really, really big. So, it was still a pretty good movie. So anyways, with that being the case and that being said, it's still a pretty good concept for what it is, and I do find it to be pretty awesome for the movie to have a good, interesting concept. It's a pretty good movie for what it is, and I recommend watching it if you've not seen it, because it's a pretty good movie. It's a really funny one too, and it's a pretty good concept for what it is, and I'm surprised that there is a movie ride set for Disney World, which was pretty awesome for what this is. But I really do like the fact that, that it's a pretty amazing film, and I personally thought it was really enjoyable. So, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I'm going to sit here and say right now that, yeah, I recommend you watch this movie. I will do the sequels eventually whenever I get the time. I will have to rewatch the sequels, but now this movie is making me want to go rewatch it again, even though I haven't seen this movie in years. So, anyway, with that being the case and that being said, I'm going to sit here and say, what did you guys personally think of this story? Well, not story, but like the movie, the storyline, whatever you prefer to call it. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make the movie a lot better, feel free to leave me your thoughts down in the comments below, because I like to personally hear what you guys think. So anyways, I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're new to my channel, feel free to leave this video a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, I'll see you all next time.